everyone is talking about this documentary. As you can see, it's got 13 million views. It is just a little snippet from it. It's about the lady which decided to perform. I don't even know if you can call it a social experiment or a stunt or to break a world record. But she wanted to have sex with 100 men. And she did. I haven't watched the documentary, nor do I plan to. I don't know exactly how she had sex with so many men. I assume that she did ask them to screen themselves for STDs, and then like maybe each man had a couple of minutes with her. I don't know. I generally don't want to know. But what I did notice is the reaction at the end of the documentary. So here she is asked to explain how she feels about the experience, and tell me if you notice something.
Having sex with someone.
Yeah, yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
So the question is, why is she crying? I mean, she wanted to do this. She planned to do this. And she was very excited before doing this. And one of the only fears that she had was that people would judge her. Like this was the cardinal sin of the modern society. This is the thing that I guess like people fear the most, is to be judged. However, I think she understands why there are certain restrictions for people to behave in such a way. You see, I'm a very open-minded person, and like I generally don't care what she did. You know, like she's going to have to live with it. She knew that there is an issue with it, which is why she was afraid of being judged. So, you know, if other people want to do this and they're not part of my family or my close circle of friends, you know, knock yourself out, and then you're going to understand why it was a bad idea. So all in all, like, I am a very open-minded person. I'm not for censorship. I'm not saying that this shouldn't be done or anything. But what I do notice is that people who do it, they immediately regret it. And the question is why? And I think it's because if you live your life the way our ancestors did, like our grandparents, our great-grandparents, maybe, you know, they couldn't articulate some shit, but they seem to know some shit. And this doesn't seem to be the path to happiness. And more importantly, it's not what women want. Like, society will tell you that this is what women want. When TV shows like Sex and the City, you go on various forums, you go on Reddit, you go on Twitter, everyone is telling you, no, this is empowering. This is empowering. And I'm looking at this documentary, and this woman doesn't seem very powerful to me. In fact, she seems to be emotionally affected by this. She seems to be in a bad place. And so, what is even worse than this, right? Is the fact that I tweeted out, because now that I'm a father and I got a son, I tweeted out that I said, this is something that I would have never understood how it feels before having a child. Like seriously, you kind of get it, but until you actually have the child, you genuinely do not know how bad it would feel if you were to actually have a daughter, and then when you're watching the news, you see the documentary with your daughter there saying that she did this. And you know, like, there's a lot of things that you would accept, and it's like, even if, I don't even know what to say, like, even if I know that my daughter is promiscuous, you know, I would still be upset, but not at this level. Like this is something that I don't think any father should experience. I don't even know how to explain it, because like the reason I'm even making this video is trying to find words and trying to see what you guys think about it. But the moment you become a father, it's a very interesting array of emotions. Like, you get to experience a lot of joy, you know, and you hold the baby in your hands, and knowing that 20 years from now or 25 years from now, like, that baby is going to grow up and be in a documentary where they do something like this. Man, I mean, Jesus, And when that happens, you're probably like remembering the childhood and all, like the time that she said her first word and the time she took her first steps, and all of that goes through your head, and it's like you start to wonder, where did I do wrong? Like, is it my fault? How did I mess up? And so this is like a horror story for future parents, I guess. Because again, I'm not for censorship. Like, she can make another documentary. I heard that she wants now to go for 1,000. Someone told me. I don't know if it's true or not. But like, it's whatever. It's her life. Like, she can live it the way she wants. It doesn't. She's from Britain, I assume. I'm from Romania. Nothing she does affects me in any way. It's like, okay. But it is scary when you think about parenting, because like that, it does actually affect me, and that's something that I do care about. And it will, like, well, I don't have a daughter, I have a son, so there are other things that I would worry. Like, one of the things I would worry is that I wouldn't want my son to be number 75 in that list. Even if, it's like, why would you be there? What are you doing? That's just, I can't stop him, but I would be disappointed, I think. Like, that's the, I wouldn't interrupt any conversations with him. It's like, the fuck, what are you doing? Number 75, really? Couldn't you be number 1? Like, if you're number 1, okay, yeah, sure. But 75, really? Like, 74 other people chewed the hamburger before you. And so, I posted that, and immediately I got hammered by a couple of people. I don't know if they were leftists or not. They didn't have pronouns or various paraphernalia in their bio, but they were like, would you expect as a parent to mold a child into your image? And I'm like, no, but I would expect that they wouldn't make a documentary showing their face in public, talking about how they had sex with 100 guys, like, I would be okay if they don't end up being a doctor. I would be okay if they just end up being like normal kids and going clubbing and having promiscuous sex and shit. I mean, I accept it, it can happen, like, other people do it, so, like, it's possible that mine would do as well. I'm not unreasonable, like, I'm not going to say that, well, it's completely out of the question, right? But at the same time, I would think that 100? Really? Like, do we need to get to that level? And this was what a lot of people in society are doing, and I'm wondering, like, why are these people doing this? Like, you can definitely see that this lady is upset, right? Like, she regrets her decision. It's on camera. She's not articulating it. She's putting on a brave face, but she definitely regrets it. So why the fuck are you encouraging other people to self-destruct? Cause see, here's what I'm standing. I'm not encouraging. I'm not stopping. I'm just like, it's almost as if I don't exist. It's none of my business, none of my problem. I live in a very dangerous neighborhood, by the way, and I got used to this. You're walking down the streets and you see someone committing a crime, like selling something that they're not supposed to, or threatening someone. You're like, I see nothing. I see nothing. You just, that's me. That's me in this equation. But I'm not going to encourage people to do this. Because, again, like there are limits. There's also like this talk in Romania, this framing, where it's like a little bit of corruption is acceptable. It's like coming to grips with reality, right? Like forgetting the utopia, forgetting the ideal. Like in reality, yeah, sure, like most people at some point in their life will do something promiscuous. Like, okay, fine. But there is a limit, isn't it? 100? Like, why not 20? It's just like, I know that my way of thinking is not to the liking of the Americans. Let's put it like, like the Puritans just disagree with my way of thinking. No, it should be 0. Well, actually, it should be 1. It should be, like, yeah, I know, should be. But I'm talking about what is. I'm observing society. I'm observing the world. I'm seeing people around me and how they behave. So I come to grips with reality. I'm like, yeah, some corruption is going to happen, right? Like, they're not going to become saints. They're not going to become the next Jesus Christ. Like, some corruption is there, but not 100. Can we not make it to 20? Can we not lower it a little bit? 22, you know, like just... So yeah, very interesting video, very interesting documentary, very interesting conversation surrounding it. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.